All right. I had to restart the stream because for some odd reason the audio stopped playing. It seems like every time I try to live stream, it seems that every time I try to live stream, something goes wrong. So yeah, hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I know I promised to try to do weekly live streams like over a month ago. I ended up not doing that because right on the week after I did my first live stream in a long time, I ended up having computer problems, and right afterwards I got sick. I've been sick for over a month. I'm still not 100% well, but I'm feeling well enough to do something on the channel. Anyway, so today we're gonna be playing Metropolis Street Racer. This is a game that I've been wanting to play for like many years, and the reason why is that I know the Bizarre Creations is the studio behind this game, and they did Project Gotham Racing, which is one of my favorite racing games. So I just wanted to do a live stream like playing this game for the very first time. The only thing that I did before starting this live stream was test the game. I did only a race just to see how the game run. I'm running on an emulator, of course. I don't have a Dreamcast, but yeah, let's see how this game plays. Let me just see if I can lower the volume because it's a bit too. Okay, I think that's good enough. Let me just. Okay, audio is good. I had to turn the music all the way down because I don't know if there is copyrighted music. I believe it there is at least a few, so I don't want to get a strike or a claim. So let me just set some stuff up. Message display. What is this? Okay. Okay. Like the Dreamcast is one of those. I love the Dreamcast. Just knowing what games are available on the console makes me like the console. But I never had one, and I think I've only played three games on the actual hardware. They were Sonic Adventure. I think it was the first one. Crazy Taxi, and I think Vigilante 8. Yeah, I think that's the one. So I don't have a lot of experience with the console. Okay, so we can get these cars. Here we have an MX-5, a Miata, a Roadster. I'm gonna go with the Roadster. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it on the classic red. Let's see how the game feels with ABS off. I actually didn't notice that there was an ABS toggle when I did the one race. I hope the audio is fine because there is always audio trouble on my live streams.
Three, two, one, go!
I know that there are penalties in this game because when I was trying trying the first race, I kind of hit the wall and got a penalty. I didn't know where I was supposed to go. But yeah, playing this game like for the first time, I got some serious Project Gotham Racing vibes. Like the handling reminds me a lot of Project Gotham Racing. Project Gotham Racing, the cars feel a bit heavier than this one does, but overall, there's a lot of Project Gotham Racing in this game, for sure. How do I? Okay, so I have to press X. As I said, this is my first time playing the game, so I don't know the tracks, I don't know the cars, I barely know the physics. So I'm gonna be making a lot of mistakes. Okay, I need to hit 33 seconds. Now, this corner is a bit confusing because it gives off the impression that I'm able to turn in earlier, but there is like the guardrails. Oh, that was easy despite the mistakes. Okay. Oh, okay. So what is this registration? Oh, I can change the number plate. Um, that's awesome. Actually, I can customize the whether the car has a hard top or a soft top depending on the time of day and weather condition. I don't know. This car looks so good with the top down, but I'm gonna leave the hard top on for daytime and nighttime soft top just to see how if there's an animation. I don't know if the weather is dynamic in this game or not. So yeah. Okay, now that I have the car, I have a bunch of options opened up to us. Welcome to Metropolis Street Racing. Oh, I know this K. This is the Kudo system from Project Gotham Racing. Actually, from this game, and kind of Project Gotham Racing inherited it. Okay, have a okay, cool. So there's a bunch of levels. So, oh crap. So this game was released, I think, in the year 2000, and so it's been like 22 years. And despite it having released over 2 decades ago, at least my first impression is that the game still holds up to this day. Of course, I'm running the game upscaled. The native resolution isn't what I'm running. I'm running it at 4K, presumably 60 FPS. I don't know. Oh crap! I messed up. I don't know if the game is actually running 60 FPS. Sometimes I get the impression that it's running lower than that, and I don't know if that's how the game ran originally or if it's my computer that's unable to keep up because of the high resolution. But other than that, I don't think that the performance is bad or anything. It looks fluid enough. Well, this corner is tricky. That's the track that I did my test run, and I always mess up on that corner for some odd reason. But I really like how this game feels. Like there's a sense of smoothness to bizarre creation games, racing games that I very much enjoy. Kind of makes me want Project Gotham Racing 5, to be honest. I don't think that I don't think that's happening, but I think I pressed a button that fast forwarded it. Don't know what button I pressed. But yeah, it would be nice to get Project Gotham Racing 5, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon, considering how Microsoft already has Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon. So yeah, it's unfortunate because I don't think it would be an issue to bring Project Gotham Racing back. But at the same time, I can kind of understand why they haven't done that yet. Uh, what is this? No Joker. Okay, I can't access it yet. And one of the things that I enjoy about Project Gotham Racing in general, and I think that's the reason I'm gonna enjoy this game, is that they have a lot of street tracks, city tracks.
Three, two, one, go!
Like it's crazy how good this game looks. Like they could release this game today just with an uppress, and at least to me it would be fine. Problem with racing games though is that kind of modernizing it and bringing it to modern consoles, it's a pain because of the licensing. Okay, so I need to pay attention to that corner. Like licensing can be a real pain to figure out. Which is why I kind of wish most of these older games and modern ones as well went with kind of original cars. Like if you create your own cars, that's not a problem. Like Ridge Racer, for example, they don't have licensed cars in that franchise overall, so it's a lot easier to kind of remaster or remake those games and bring them forward to modern consoles because they don't have to deal with all of the licensing issues of some of these real life cars, and I keep messing up this part here. No style. Okay, so far we've been getting like pretty simple tracks.
Three, two, one, go!
I think I can do this, not all of them, but at least most of these corners without braking. At least the ones that go downhill. Okay, I need to brake on this one. It's too bad that we had to turn the music down. Like the music adds a lot to this game, to be honest. Oh, we're gonna have to repeat a race. Let's repeat the one in London because that's the one that I did really bad.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, I keep forgetting about this part. Oh, come on. Like, I'm not blaming the game, I'm blaming myself, but I keep messing that part up. And this part right here, too. Oh, I almost got this got it right this time, but messed up everything else. Wait a minute, I lost kudo points. Like I had to. Is this an actual mechanic of the game or? Okay, so let me run this one once more, just to make sure I understand the mechanics. But as far as I understood, you need to drive consistently, because if you redo the same race and you drive
Three, two,
worse than you did the first time,
go.
you lose points rather than earn more. Gonna try to focus to drive as best as I possibly can. Oh, got a penalty. It's yeah. I can't just like floor around the corners and expect the car to take it. But we're doing a lot better. We were able to shave off, I think, 2 or 3 seconds. So that's an improvement. Okay, so that's exactly how it works. So I can just redo races and expect to just earn more points. I need to keep it consistent, because if I drive worse than I did the first time, I lose points rather than add points on top of what I had. That's actually a cool mechanic, because it kind of incentivizes you to drive clean rather than just repeating the same races over and over again to progress through the game. I think I'm probably gonna have to reduce some of those the first two races to see if I get more points then. Now that I know how the game works.
Three, two, one, go!
Oh, oh, it's a car. I thought it was a ghost. Can I? No, I can't restart it. I want to know if they have more tracks in Japan. So far, we raced on one. I think the one in Shibuya, and I want to know if they have more. I think I'm gonna run this one again, cause we can do a lot better. Yeah, I'm gonna redo this one. There was a warning about the thing where you lose points, and I didn't realize. I think we can actually get a lot more points by running this, doing this race well.
Three, two, one, go!
So much for doing the race well. Like the penalties in this game are kind of brutal because I get that I get penalties for colliding against the wall because well I'm not supposed to do that, but if you so much as touch another car, you get a penalty. Doesn't matter if you just brushed against the car or if you full on rammed it, you get a penalty either way. I think we did it worse actually. Yeah, I'm not gonna repeat this one. I'll probably go back to it if we need it to unlock the other races. This track reminds me of the San Francisco track uh, in grids, in grid, not grids, grid. Not because of the location, because of course, since they're both based off the same location, they're gonna look similar. But I'm talking about the layout of the track. Kind of reminds me of that. Like I missed out on so much stuff. Like I skipped over the PS2 entirely. Like to be honest, I had the PS2 for about a week, I think. I got it's it's a weird thing, but basically back when the PS2 was a thing here in Brazil, it was really difficult to find like non-modded PS2 consoles for sale. Like most of the ones that you would find for sale, they would have a mod chip, unfortunately. And I wanted one without the mod chip because not because of piracy or anything like that, but mostly because I knew that some of those early mod chips they could cause problems. They could cause random issues because they weren't as good. Like modding your console these days, like it's a lot different than it was before, and things are a lot better done these days than they were before. And unfortunately, I sold my GameCube, which was a console that I absolutely loved, and I sold it because I wanted a PS2. Ended up getting a PS2, a modded one, and I got a bunch of games. I got Onimusha, I got Devil May Cry, I got Gran Turismo 3, I got Final Fantasy X, and unfortunately, the console didn't last a week. Like out of those games, I think the only one that I was able to play without any issues was Onimusha. Devil May Cry didn't boot. Final Fantasy X, it would run up until the halfway through the first cutscene, then it would crash. The entire console would lock up, and it wouldn't go past that. Gran Turismo 3, the console would lock up like the first few seconds of the first race that I was able to do in that game. Um, I also got Tony Hawk American Wasteland. That game wouldn't boot as well. So there was a lot of issues with that console, and I got so disappointed that I ended up selling to an acquaintance that I had that he knew of the problems, but he wanted the console anyway. So might as well sell it to him. And that was one of the biggest regrets that I had because I loved the GameCube. That to this day, GameCube is probably my favorite console, the best console that I've ever owned. Like the form factor of the console, I loved. I love the controller. I love the games that the console had. And unfortunately, I ended up selling it for the PS2, and it didn't work out. And for that reason, I I got so disappointed because I kind of sold my GameCube, got a PS2, ended up selling it after a week, and after that, I kind of the next like 5 years I didn't have a console. Like 1 or 2 years later, I got a PC that had a decent enough graphics card. So I ended up buying Need for Speed Underground 2, and that's pretty much the one game that I played for the next 5 years. But yeah, I miss the GameCube. The GameCube was an awesome console. And Dreamcast, like I had the neighbor next door. He got his father got him a Dreamcast, so he invited me over to play it, and it was another console that I very much enjoyed despite my limited experience with it. So then I think what year was that? It was probably, I want to say 14, 15 when that happened. I think I was 15 because then I got married, and my wife got me an Xbox 360, and that's how I got back into gaming. Because for all of those 5 years, I made a conscious effort to not follow gaming news, to not follow anything really. So I kind of missed out on the entire PS2 generation because of that. And only now I'm trying to not catch up, but at least play some of the games that I would want to play back then. And I have a bunch of PS2 games. I need to grab it. It's in a box. I have a bunch of PS2 games, PS1 games that I got when I was in Japan, and I don't have the console to play. And that's one of the things that I want to do in the future is get an actual PS2, preferably a modded one, so that I have a HDMI output. Because dealing with component cables or composite cables, I don't know which cable the PS2 has. Dealing with those cables can be a pain in the ass, so I don't want to deal with that. And I'm looking forward to the service that Sony's about to launch, the PS Plus Premium, I think, that has that tier that has the classic PS, the classic PlayStation games and the PSP. One of the games that leaked out was Ridge Racers 2, which was one of the few games that I had on the PSP back when I used to live in Japan, and I played that game a lot. That game wouldn't leave my PSP, and I'm kind of excited to see if that's actually one of the games that's going to be part of the lineup, because it's gonna be cool if we're able to not have you tied up to a subscription service, but be able to actually buy the games and run them natively on your PS5. Like I could very easily emulate those games on my PC, no problem. But I think the convenience of having them all in a single console that you can easily just turn on and off and start playing the game without having to set anything up, without having to troubleshoot the random stuff that sometimes happens with Windows. To me, that beats the whole emulation thing on PC. To be honest, like I would love to be able to buy the game that I'm playing, Metropolis Street Racer, like via legal means, like Sega do something like maybe make it available on PS5 or Xbox Series X or even PC through a storefront where you can buy some of those classic games. But unfortunately, we don't have any legit way of buying those games. So if I want to play them, I'm gonna have to resort to uh, unofficial emulators. I think we're doing better. We haven't crashed nearly as much as our first runs, so hopefully we get a few extra points. But I really like this mechanic of like gaining, earning, and losing points based on how well you drive. It really does incentivize you to learn the track. Now that I think of it, let me just go back and see if we can unlock other cars.
Three, two, one, go!
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do those races with the MX-5 just to see if the performance is better.
Three, two, one, go!
Oh, we actually unlock one more race. I thought we would need point 0.7 more points to. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Max 5 because it feels more solid, at least around the corners. The Roadster is a little bit more difficult to drive. Not that difficult, but the Max 5 feels better.
Three, two, one, go!
So far, I'm loving the tracks, man. City tracks is something that I wish more racing games did. Wait, what? Oh, okay, this track is a little bit confusing. At least on a first run. Of course, when I learn it, that's not gonna be an issue anymore. But I was about to say that I was gonna get the corner right, but I obviously didn't. I did pretty bad. I'm gonna have to rerun this one.
Three, two, one, go!
What kind of horn is that? Come on. The penalties in this game can be really brutal. Like I barely touched that other car, but That threw me off completely. I was doing so well. Oh man, that kind of reminds me that older games, like we complain that some games these days are hard or they are unforgiving, but these older games they are a reminder that are far more unforgiving games than what we have now in modern gaming. Oh, that was awful. Yeah, I lost points. Let's. I'm gonna have to redo this race anyways, but you know what? Let me do the challenge to unlock some of the other cars. I know I have limited garage slots, so the thing is, I have no idea of what cars are good in this game. I'm just going with Mazda because it's the brand that I one of the brands that I like the most. Let's try this MG. We have. I wonder what happens when we fill out the three garage slots. Do we lose cars? Do we have to kind of earn them again, or are they kind of stored away and you can kind of retrieve them at any time? Remember that one of the Need for Speeds had a similar mechanics. Not one of them, like three of the most recent ones. I think Need for Speed 2015, Need for Speed Payback, and I think also Need for Speed Heat also had like a limited garage slots,
Three,
maybe
two,
five or something like that.
go!
Which kind of sucks, to be honest. Okay, so this car feels a lot faster than the Mazda. Like a lot faster. And a lot easier to drive than I anticipated. Yeah, that's gonna be the one I'm gonna be using. It's by far the best one out of the ones that we unlocked so far. I'm gonna leave it as is because there's no point in customizing it if there is no dynamic time of day to kind of see the top going up and down. Okay, so let me see which of the tracks I feel I can earn more points. Like this one I did pretty bad. This one too. This one too. This one not so bad. This is probably the one that we did the best at. Let's rerun the first one and see if we can improve. One of the things that I'm noticing about this kudos system is that it's a lot more kind of integral to the game progression than Project Gotham Racing, because I remember that people used to praise like Project Gotham Racing a lot because of the kudos system, but I never felt that the kudos system in that game was like that important. Like some of the events, sure, you had to kind of earn a predetermined amount of kudos points to be able to progress. But this game, like the entire progression, is tied up to the kudos system. So much so that you have to kind of redo the same races over and over again until you squeeze out as much points as you're able to squeeze out of each one of the races. Otherwise, you're gonna be stuck. And I know that me saying this might come off as negative, but I actually enjoy this progression quite a bit. Yeah, I need to pay attention to how I'm taking that corner because I'm losing a lot of points there. And I don't know if maybe that's how it works, but I remember that in Project Gotham Racing, if you drifted, if you took corners fast, you got kudos points. And it looks like it's the same here because I'm seeing these numbers pop up on the screen. Maybe these numbers aren't the actual points now that I think of it. Maybe they are the splits between each sector. I don't know. I'm just speaking as I see it. I'm not, as I said, I know nothing about this game, so hopefully we got some extra points. Let's see. Yeah, we actually got a couple more points. I'm gonna have to redo this one because that's by far the worst one. Like the worst run I've done so far.
Three, two, one, go!
What kind of horn is that? Some of these cars have like horns that sound like one of those clown horns. Come on. I need to remember to brake earlier. I barely touched the car, man. Come on. Like I feel that with this car we should be able to get a much better run overall, but it's kind of difficult to know exactly where I'm supposed to be braking. Like some of these older games, they don't have a lot of the signposting that a lot of the modern ones have, like for braking points. So kind of have to base your braking points off your surroundings in a way that's not necessarily designed for that. I don't know. I'm trying to explain something. Like in my head, it makes sense. I'm not sure if it's making sense as I speak. Oh, but we actually improved, so that's good enough for me.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, this is one of those overtake challenges. I'm kind of getting an idea of where Grid got a lot of a lot of its ideas. Like this overtake challenge, I remember being on the Grid games, maybe Grid 2. I don't know if it was on Grid 1, but I do remember it being on Grid 2. That's one of the things that I enjoy the most about playing some of these older games that I never played before, is that you get to see exactly where some of the ideas that you see in some of the most recent games, you get to see where they come from. Sometimes we see some of these more recent games and we go, oh, so that's a cool idea, that's new. Probably not. There probably is an older game that have already done that before. It's just that we never played it. I can remember in one of my videos on one of my indie racing games you should play. I think the first one that I did, where some people commented that one of the games that I said that one of the games referenced Top Gear, and people corrected me. They said no, this is actually Outrun. And the thing is, I never played Outrun when I was a kid. I only played Outrun recently. And so my reference for that type of game was Top Gear, not Outrun. But now that I've played Outrun, I can see how people felt the need to correct me, because they are right. Uh, that game reminds me a lot more of Outrun than it does Top Gear. The game that I'm talking about is Slipstream. That's an indie game that I featured in that video, and it's a lot of fun. You guys should check out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up indie racing games you should play on my channel. You're probably gonna find, I think, 2 videos. Yeah, I think I've done 2 videos on that so far, with a bunch of recommendations of indie racing games you should play. Like the best part of this game definitely is the horns. Oh, we did very well on this one. Yeah, I like this MG car. It's getting kind of hot here because of the lights, and but I don't want to turn the fan on. So if you see me heavy breathing, that's why. That's because of the heat.
2, 1, go!
That was by far the easiest race in the game. I say easiest, but the other car was pretty close, so guess I wouldn't be saying that if I made a mistake. Oh, so there is another Japan track, Sumidagawa. Looking forward to seeing how that one looks. Excuse me.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, this is gonna be rough. Yeah, I knew it. Like the moment that I make the slightest contact with another car, I'm gonna get a penalty. Some parts of this, like this is the second track that I noticed this. Some parts of the tracks they kind of overlap, and it gives off the impression that you're supposed to turn in much earlier than you're actually supposed to, which can be a bit confusing. Not a big deal, but like as soon as you learn the track, it's not a problem anymore. But at least on a first run, it can be confusing. like this part right here. I don't know if it's my monitor that it's a little bit too dark and I can't really see it, but at least playing the game, it makes it if it look like you're supposed to turn in earlier. Oh, come on. Oh, I want to know if there's a horn button for my car as well, because I want to see. I want to check how my horn sounds, if it's just as ridiculous as some of these other cars. Oh crap. That was bad. Really bad. I barely touched the car. This is bullshit. Like this penalty here where I collided against the wall, sure, fine. But the other ones where I collided against the car, that's not fair. I'm gonna have to redo this one when I get first place. Yeah, I failed it anyways.
Three, two, one,
Bit more familiar with the track, so hopefully I'm able to do better. What are you doing? Are you drunk? This is so much bullshit, man. Like I scrapped the car. I didn't intentionally hit him. Which is funny because I get the feeling that the AI doesn't get penalized. Maybe they do, but kudos points they don't mean anything to them, so it doesn't make any difference. But for me, it does because I need the kudos points. I think I'm supposed to brake at that lamp post. No! Oh, come on, I'm on the last lap. Like, once your car gets going, there's no stopping. Once it starts sliding around, you can pretty much expect it to go all the way. Okay, hopefully that puts us above the required amount of kudos. Let's see. Okay. Okay, there's a new car in the showroom. Just drink some water. I just realized that there's a number besides each one of the car, like CPF 2.1. Is that the performance rating or mine is 1.0? Okay, let me go back and see the car that I earned. No, I need to back out to the garage to see if I can get the other car. Okay, remove this car from your garage to make room for a brand new car. Be warned, this could cost you some kudos. Yeah, let's risk it. I'm gonna lose. That's tough. Yeah, I'm gonna risk it because I want to see what happens. Okay, we unlocked an Oppo. Kind of wish we could. Oh yeah, so this is a much faster car, 2.7. So that's the performance rating for the cars. We're learning.
Three, two, one, go!
Oh, the Parco building. I've been there a couple times. Not necessarily this one because there are Parcos pretty much everywhere in Japan. But I've been to the one that's in Shibuya. You need to brake a lot earlier there. Okay, so I'm kind of confused because in theory this car should be a lot better than the one that I was driving, the MG, but for some odd reason this car feels a lot slower and chunkier than the other one. I guess Yeah, I'm racing by myself here, so want to see how it performs in comparison to the other AI cars for the championship. So yeah, the only thing that I don't like about this game so far is the limited garage slots. I don't know if we're gonna unlock more slots as we go, but even if we do, I don't like the system where the game limits how many cars you're able to have at one time. Kind of limits your ability to test different cars. That's the only thing negative that I have to say about this game so far. Pretty much everything else, I'm loving the game. The visuals, the tracks, the mechanics, the system, the everything, the progression, the music that unfortunately I had to turn down. Okay, so this one was a bit more difficult than the other ones that we did. Let's see if this car helps us or makes it more difficult to win the championship. Okay, so it's 2 rounds in total. Oh, Asakusa. Awesome. I've been to Asakusa before too. And I love Japan so much, man. I miss that place so much.
Three,
Like I spent 7 years there. I lived in a small town called Sano in the Tochigi province. It was like about an hour and a half away from Tokyo, which was good because it allowed us to visit Tokyo whenever we wanted, without having to deal with the cost of living of Tokyo itself, which can be very high. Yeah, if you wanna if you wanna grab my attention on any game, really, make it so that it takes place in Japan. Oh, the Asahi poop. We call it the Asahi poop, but I don't know I got distracted. Sorry. But yeah, there's the famous Asahi poop on the top of that building. It's gold in real life. I don't know why that it looked kind of red. Like you can kind of see that huge poop, gold poop, when you're heading towards Odaiba. You can see when you're on the monorail. Oh man, this, like, I know that this may be annoying to some people, but seeing this stuff in a game brings back so many memories. My greatest dreams right now is to be able to go back to Japan. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to, but Hopefully, someday soon. Like as a kid, my biggest dream was to visit Japan, not live there. And I would never, like, not even in my wildest dreams, would ever have imagined that not only I was gonna visit Japan, but I was also gonna be able to live there for a number of years. Like that, even speaking these words right now, this feels surreal to think that that actually happened. Yeah, this car made things a lot easier, for sure. Thought it was gonna be slower, but was just an impression, really. These horns, man, they sound so ridiculous. Oh, fuck. This is the first race that we do with fog. And this is also the first time that I'm racing on this layout too. No, I think I've done this layout before. If I haven't, so this is probably a combination of two other layouts into a longer one. This corner is hard to get right. Like, very hard. I think we did it. I think we completed the entire first chapter. I just don't think we have enough kudos to unlock the second one though. I think the cutoff was, I think, 1250, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah. Okay, so we unlocked one more car. Wait, what? We got we got negative 21 kudos. Didn't think that it was possible. Yeah, we need to make up a lot of points. Like, we have 836 and we need 1250 to qualify for the second chapter. Uh I think I'm gonna get rid of this MX5, to be honest, because I'm under the impression that this new car that we unlocked is faster. Let's see. Kind of wish that we were able to see the performance rating before taking on the challenge. Yeah, 2.1. It's not that much better than the other one, but still an improvement. So, or was that other one 2.3 or 2.0?
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. This car feels a bit lighter than the other one. Not that much, but enough to make a noticeable difference. And it feels faster too. Well, this corner, need to figure out a reference point for the braking before that other corner. Like this one right here, I'm braking around that tree to the left side. For this next one, I'm braking as we reach the guardrail to the left side as well. Now for this other one, that's the one that I need to figure out. Maybe this phone booth? No, too late. But it did a trick, but it'd be better to brake a bit earlier. No, but we got it, so not a big issue. Yeah, let me see. It doesn't show the performance point, unfortunately. Yeah. So yeah, we got quite a bit of work to do to unlock the second chapter. I'm gonna be doing this off stream because I don't want to like do a live stream where I'm basically repeating the same events over and over again to improve my kudos points. But I'm gonna do this off stream, not today, but over the course of the week. And when I manage to unlock the second chapter, I'll keep going. I'm gonna be playing this game live more. I'm not gonna commit to a schedule because you guys know what happens when I try to commit to a schedule. Something happens and I'm unable to keep up with it. But yeah, so yeah, that's been my very first time playing Metropolis Street Racer. Very enjoyable game so far. I like the physics, considering the time that the game came out. The physics are very good. I like the mechanics. The mechanics are very good. The progression is very enjoyable. It kind of forces you to learn the track rather than just half-assing your way around it. Don't like the garage system. I think it's very limiting in a way that it's not fun. It kind of makes you not want to try some of the other cars that you haven't driven yet, because once you discard one of the cars in your garage, you kind of lose some kudos points, which is very important in this game. What else? Um, Soundtrack is very good. The only thing that I don't really like is the garage. The tracks are kind of the star of the game. I love the Tokyo tracks in this game so far. I hope there are more tracks that I haven't seen yet, but so far I think the two or three tracks that we've driven on, perfect. They're awesome tracks. But yeah, that's been a very enjoyable game so far. I'm gonna keep playing this game, and